It's another day and we're one day closer to June. If you want more content like this, drop a like. Let's stick together to June. We have some important news to talk about today, especially looking at the concept. Oh, the first thing I wanted to talk about today is Battlefield trailer in June was teased since a year. It was actually told to us a year ago, but we all somehow mistook it. Can't wait until next June to share what the teams are working, and even I forgot about that. In case people are actually taking this seriously, the screenshot is out of context and referring to EA Play, which is usually in June. The vid is also about all EA studios, not just DICE. Just a coincidence. Now that is why we were expecting something. This could give you a bit of more general idea if you saw this on Reddit. Definitely a nice post to have though, and I was expecting something in May, but June, I'll take June. If I can get some, trailers in June, some teasers, I'll take that any time of the day. Now, what we also have, they started to promote their newsletter in-game. Seems like a good move. In terms of outreach, we're getting close. Install straight to your Battlefield inbox. Scan this code with your mobile device to sign up for the Battlefield newsletter. At some point, they'll have to do this for Battlefield Mobile as well. Of course, this text says it's for Armory update and such, but besides that, and there's no news for Battlefield 5 more. It's likely done to reach as many people as possible when the reveal happens eventually, which is a good thing. So I thought I'd just share it. So it's really nice. One of my subscribers actually posting that. But really, I love this that we're, we might get updated a bit more. And now we have this awesome map concept. Now this is of course fan made, but just look at this. It's like simply perfect. And holy moly, look at this. Like, if you all remember the leaks, they were actually telling something about the Alps or the Avalanche dropping. And if this is true, this would be awesome. Rumbling snow, control the majority of objectives to drain the enemy's tickets. Look at this. Look at the details. Tanegashima launch site, conquest large. Look at this. In the behind is an Osprey. You can see another Osprey over here. You can see like a rocket launching off. And, this jet flying in to destroy the enemies. So, really, they're, counteracting with rockets. They want to destroy the Ospreys so they don't reach the island. Probably US Ospreys attacking the Japanese Tanegashima Space Center. Just imagine if we got like a volcano and there is a tank fighting here. Like, this tank is about to get wrecked, yo. So awesome. Really so awesome. Especially if volcanoes will be in the game. That is something I have not heard of yet. I always thought of floods. Always thought of avalanches. A volcano is something that we have yet to see. If there's a volcano in the game, I'm gonna be sold. Who doesn't like volcanoes? That is actually sick. Look at this. We all have, rumbling snow, which is basically avalanches. We can see something here. I don't know. No, it's probably nothing. But yeah, it basically moves. Then we can see, Osprey over here. A bunch of boats. So maybe civilians are still here. Destruction. This is probably what we are seeing. Another Osprey wing. The bridge going up and down, which would change the game as we know it. If this would be in the game, that would be simply awesome. Now, what you also can see here is the Tanegashima Space Center. And there's so much to talk about this, especially I think this is the rocket that is going to be launching pretty much soon. And these are some random buildings. So when we see Battlefield, this got me immediately super excited. And the volcano, I'm just at a loss of words. So whoever did this, great work, because we have a lot more upcoming. Battlefield 6 fan concept. Now I want to get back to this, but we're gonna be seeing, fully looking into this because this is a really well made. We can look over here. We have to take 2 steps back and actually look at what they have made before for Battlefield fan concept, and this is simply so beautiful. Look at this. So what we can see here is, some people. I don't think in the next Battlefield game we're actually going to be seeing people in the maps, but we do know that, cities are now a big possibility. We can use a car burning, which on the next engine is completely possible. We can see a bit of rain. There's not much more to talk about this image, but if you compare the old Battlefield 3 and 4 images, you will know that the new concept art for the next Battlefield game is already made, and it's very likely that we will find some similarities in Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 6. So look at this. We have some wind. We don't have any, buildings destroyed. I think this is, from a Battlefield 4 campaign. Yeah, exactly. Like, These are still some unfinished buildings. If we have such strong wind that it can actually turn over vehicles, I'd be super hyped for that. I'd be in. But more from the campaign overall. Now, not much to see here based on the evolution or dynamic weather. We can see like a dam over here, which could cause a flood. So Battlefield 6 had a flood, and I think they're gonna be having inspirations from old Battlefield games. So what I think is gonna happen over here, you know, some sort of a dam is gonna get destroyed, you know, some sort of a bridge is gonna be raised up, and a lot of water will come into these villages. This is something we saw in Battlefield 4 Evolution, but now it can be taken to the next level because it can, you know, turn over tanks, it can destroy everything. It won't just raise the water a little and that's it. And we also have, you know, big naval warships being destroyed. I don't think you can destroy naval warships just yet, but we could see that in Battlefield 1, so it's definitely possible. It's possible, but I don't think we'll see it. Simply put, like, this will be very demanding, especially for older consoles, you know, trying to destroy an entire warship. Now, this is in fact, from the Battlefield 4 campaign, right? What we can notice here is these are some huge battles, and I feel like this is an exact moment how Battlefield 6 will look like. Imagine this with 128 players. This just feels uncanny, like, it feels so unreal, especially with everyone commanding their own boat and own squads. 3 to 4 to 5 jets is definitely possible here. Just attacking a single ship, and the single ship is trying to, you know, to repel off the attackers. We can't, you can see a bit of, you know, dynamic weather over here. I definitely think it will be improved in the next Battlefield game. How sort of evolution we will see, probably some avalanches falling. I don't think we will see civilians for some time, but we'll definitely see vehicles like this. So this is something we saw in Battlefield 4, so you can see here MV08AV, and we can see, you know, a bunch of police unit protesting. So basically it's going to be a clash between, it's Russia versus US, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't been keeping track, but really awesome stuff. Like, if we have some dynamic weather, like if we can go inside buildings, and I've been always talking about dynamic weather, if we can go inside buildings, that would be simply amazing. Now, I'd love that, to be honest. Like, going outside and inside the buildings while they can be destroyed in the next Battlefield game would be game-changing for me. Now, again, dynamic weather, not much more to say here. Just a completely abandoned place. I don't think this would be that much abandoned with 128 players. And we can see over here, this is the picture I wanted to talk about. This is the beautiful image. If we see this in the next Battlefield game, expect a huge avalanche. We can see some sort of the avalanche site, or basically, you know, for these little things. What are they called in English? I'm not sure anymore. But yeah, you can see an observatory. You can see, you know, this guy that's gonna be destroyed by avalanche when Battlefield 6 does come out. And much more. Like, all the lights are gonna be very detailed. This is something I want to see. A Siege of Shanghai remaster. So if we see that, I want more buildings to be destroyed. Imagine it on Siege of Shanghai, but basically on drugs. So maybe, you know, 4 to 5 buildings from Siege of Shanghai can be destroyed overall. We can also see here much more of a dusty windstorm, which, you know, Tom Henderson has been teasing. So if you take a step back and really think about this, I feel like we will see something, you know, from Battlefield 4 added to Battlefield 6. So a lot of times, you know, they have to use, you know, the same concept ideas, especially for Battlefield 3. Now it's a bit downgraded. We can't see much here, but, you know, you can see here that they're actually using the advanced smoke, how the rocket launch is happening here, how, you know, the rain is falling down. You can see everything in such pictures. It's so awesome. Now, they're not detailed as in the game, but it seems to me like we have so much going on right now. This is something I had to read. Battlefield 6 fan concept. This purely fan-made concept of Battlefield 6 takes place during a fictional World War III between the newly formed United Alliance and deceptive North Korea. Since this was posted some time ago, I don't think this guy's this far off. The idea will go back to a similar feel of Battlefield 4 and give it a fresh new look, and work in some of my own ideas for a future Battlefield game. So let's take a look at the menu fan concept. So you have multiplayer, campaign, commander, cooperative. I'd love a co-op mode. I'd love a co-op mode. Options and quit. So you also have multiplayer, and you have basically Grand Conquest, 50 versus 50, all out war with the help of commanders. Now this is fan concept, so we might see, you know, 64 versus 64. Contractors, 3 teams fight for power. Oh, that would be awesome. Like 1 versus 1 versus 1. And you know, those teams can clash against each other. That would be actually insane. Air superiority, 10 versus 10 dogfights. And we can see, you know, operation contractors, front lines, domination, team deathmatch, air superiority, advanced search. If we got like a menu like this one, that would be simply awesome. Especially, you know, you can see here, it's so smooth, especially if you're using a controller. Contractors game mode. While the rage wages on, important and vital technology and information become exposed. Mega corporations take advantage and hire private armies to secure these assets for themselves. 3 teams of 15 must search the war-torn battlefield for important documents and equipment, either marking them for extraction or carrying them back to the base. Successfully obtained assets will award points to the team. The team with the most points before the time limit wins. Extractions take time, so the area must be defended until the helicopter arrives to carry the asset away. I'd love to see this. I honestly love it. If the point becomes overrun, extraction will be forced to turn away and the asset will be up for grabs. Documents and other small pieces of equipment can be manually carried back to base. However, the soldier carrying the asset must do the same with hand and cannot aim down sights. Transporters should be escorted back to the base and can enter vehicles. And we can see, you know, the co-op mode. This thumbnail I have been using a lot, but you can see, you know, objective captor Isayev Yanovich. So probably this guy running away, right? And either alone or with up to 2 other players, play through multiple dynamic missions that take place during the event leading up to war. Since we haven't seen campaign yet, I'm really excited to see how that will work out. Learn how North Korea managed to mislead and outsmart the world, causing countries to be suspicious of their own allies and start conflicts in the streets of their own cities. Ooh, that is good. That is a really good backstory. Now the commander mode, which could be returning, you know, we can see UAV, cruise missile, ballistic strike, PL-1 tank, A-10 strike. Ooh, that would give a lot of people really hype. Play as the commander of your team, giving orders to squad leaders, calling a support, and even rewarding squads for following your orders. Some flags will grant access to unique support options, while followed orders will grant reward points to spend on rewards for individual squads. So we can also see fight in massive, fully destructible environments in teams up to probably 64, but this is made for 50. Pilot numerous vehicles or fight on foot using one of the 4 distro classes. And you can see over here, you know, these 5 guys are actually preparing for a huge fight right now. You can see, you know, the jet being destroyed in the background. They're probably going to certain objectives. So, you know, it's E over here. That's Omega, and that's F, I'm guessing. Or like, yeah, I'm guessing this one is still uncaptured. Now these are going into some enemy territory. So 4K wallpaper, and that's that. And it's so beautiful. Like, whoever made this, and you know, this was made by Xioxcraft. I hope I spelled his name correctly, but he's watching my channel and I really want to compliment him. Like, he does some awesome work. So there you have it. If you want more content like this, do consider dropping that sub, because we have a lot more important Battlefield 6 news. Anyway, take care and see ya next time. Appreciate you watching this.